believe it or not, there is legitimately not a line I've wanted to sneak a peek at more going into a fight in such a long time. Cory McKenna versus Elise Reed. I am such a fan of Cory McKenna, and the reason why is, we just talked about it with the song Yadong in the previous video, but the idea of the prospect is kind of dying. I always think to myself, in MMA, it's such a sport where, boxing is so opposite that once you lose that it's like no one really gives a shit. Like, that is facts. But in this case, in MMA, it's a weird feeling of if you go undefeated, it's almost an unwritten precedence that you might not be challenging yourself as much. And that's why John Jones got so much credit. Same with GSP and the way they went about their careers, right? It's the losses that you take in MMA can be such a builder for the future of your career that sometimes I don't want to see they're better than wins, but the effect they can have on a fighter is insane. Talk about Israel, right? He doesn't have competition at 185. What do you want the kid to do? Just keep fighting the same guys over and over again? This guy's putting his body on the line. What about his legacy? People always find a thing to complain about, and whatever. Let's go to 205 and fight Jan and see how it goes. And I respect the hell out of fighters for doing those kinds of things because that is them challenging themselves despite what you have to say or what I have to say. So in this case, you think about the idea of the prospect and Cory McKenna. That's where I'm hoping to see her take this career. She's 6-1, and you think about that climb up, right? The potential. She won me over on the Contender Series of Vanessa Demopoulos, and Vanessa Demopoulos is a fighter that's been trying to get her butt in the UFC for so long, and she finally did recently. But LFA champion, so much hype. And now we got Cory McKenna, Team Alpha Male trained, coming in there and just absolutely shocking people. I think that she looked great on the feet. I think she was able to negate Vanessa's, very predictable game plan of taking it to the ground. And then you talk about the Kay Hansen fight, right? Kay Hansen has been talked about so much as a fighter. And who did we take in that fight? I mean, Cory McKenna's been our girl. And I think in this fight, you think about how she's going to be able to get the fight to the ground. I don't think Elise Reed has great pace. She's going to have length. She might have a striking advantage, especially with mixing it up. But I've watched a lot of her championship fights. I've heard guys call the opponents soccer moms. I mean, that's the vernacular they're using right now. And to me, I would never say that. But at the same time, it's a huge dictation of where she's been versus Cory McKenna and what she's accomplishing. To defeat Vanessa Demopoulos and Kay Hansen in your first two Dana White Contenders UFC wins is pretty amazing. And in my opinion, I think Elise Reed is a step down from Kay Hansen. So I am so curious what this line could be. And my guess is between -150 and 200. I think that it could be a bit higher. And from an actual prop perspective, guys, I think Cory McKenna by finish and even sprinkling that submission is so live. I think that her striking is going to be able to get this fight to the ground, but the moment she sees that opportunity, this is the kind of fighter that's going to go to her bread and butter and just lock something up. She's got the rear nakeds. She's training at Team Alpha Male. I mean, that's what they love, the guillotines and the rear naked. So for me, McKenna as a submission dub, it just seems something you really want to look into. So for me, let's go McKenna. I'm going to take the pick here straight up. I'm going to guess a -170 line based on what we just talked about. And I'm going to say not only is she going to win, but I like the prop of winning the submission. And potentially even we'll look into rounds. I'm feeling her today. I'm feeling her this weekend. So let's take a look at that line. -170 is my guess. And all right, -213 opener. And I mean, I got to be honest, man, -250 is the highest I see. And still such a good parlay piece. A potential Super Saiyan pick there, but we've had some pretty bad luck with female fights, so I might not go that route. But Elise Reed, +180 opener, now getting to those +200 ranges. So, yeah, my girl Cory McKenna is about to maybe do some damage.